The story begins with an old man being covered in blood, and our MC, Jong, is witnessing his grandfather's death. His grandfather was cut in half, and Jong realizes that he doesn't feel any sadness even after watching his grandfather's death, even though he was his only family, and regrets that he wasn't even a good family to his grandfather. Now he remembers his good time with his gramps. In the past, he shouts that he found a spirit connection herb, and his grandfather appreciates his hard work and tells him that they could earn at least 5 niang for this. Jong explains that there is a fox den right next to where he found the herb, but the mother wasn't there. Only the babies. Now his grandfather asks him, "Did you kill the babies?" He replies, "Why would I?" The mother would be sad if she knows that all her babies had been killed. His grandfather appreciates him again and asks him to promise something to him. That is, to never reveal his true nature, which he hides within himself, to anyone. Now coming to present, our Jong is furious and yells that he is sorry because he can't keep the promise anymore. After a few days, in the city called Zhongyang County, a carriage was traveling with prisoners in it. The people in the city are cursing them for their evil deeds. However, everyone was shocked that a boy was also in the carriage, and whispering to each other, "What has he done for him to be inside the carriage?" From an inn, a middle-aged man from Murim is spectating the scene, saying that, "I guess he is suitable in the young master place." Then another person at the table, who is an informer, is arguing that he is not fit that role because he might be worse than the prisoners. The Murim guy asks about the boy's story, and the informant says the boy is called a scythe killer demon because he killed more than 50 people with just a scythe. The Murim guy needs to hire someone young, someone no one would care about if he were to die. At that moment, someone threw a stone at the boy sitting inside the carriage, saying he needs to get a divine punishment for his crime. Now the boy's face is visible, and he is none other than our Jong. After watching our Jong's face, the Murim guy amazes and leaves the inn, saying he's the perfect candidate. Now at the Golden Jade Hall, a place where the county keeps all the prisoners, our Jong regrets that he was too rash. He finally managed to find the one who killed his grandfather, and the person has covered his face with a hat, but our Jong is unable to do anything because of his low strength. Now he understands that he needs to learn martial arts to defeat such a strong enemy. However, he realizes he will not get a second chance to meet that person again due to his prisoner life. Suddenly a smoke appears from outside to Jade Hall. Jong recognizes the smoke and thinks it is not ordinary smoke, due to he's eaten all kinds of herbs while living with his grandfather. Realizes that it is sleep aroma. Jong falls asleep. A stranger enters the cell and opens up the chains tied to his legs. However, Jong is awake and strikes the stranger and runs away from the cell. Jong thinks that he is able to escape thanks to how badly the herbs were combined. In an instant, he freezes up all of a sudden, caused by the stranger from backside. And he is none other than our Murim guy. He swiftly attacks Jong, and our protagonist coughs up blood. He notices the Murim guy is a martial artist. At the moment, a young man appears in the Jade Hall and states the Murim guy is Guardcam and asks him, is he the candidate? Guardcam responds that he is the one, and lifts him up. Now the young man unveils his face and speaks, "He looks exactly like me." Our protagonist surprises for a moment as to how they look very similar in outer appearance. The young man looks very joyful and expresses that our protagonist is surprised. He speaks to the protagonist that how unfair life is. Even though we were with the same face, I am a young master and you are a prisoner. The protagonist can't decipher the situation. However, the young master presents him a chance, and it is to become the third young master of the Great Mock Sword Manor. And that is the stand-in for young master in front of him, Mock Jiangwon. The young master tells the protagonist about the facilities he would have, like delicious food, pretty servants, and a comfortable bed, which were the privileges Jong never had in his life. And once the stand-in period is over, the protagonist would receive plenty of gold. And the young master presents him a pill in order to take this chance. Our protagonist questions, is it poison? And our young master responds, how can we trust you blindly when you're a murderer? Then Guardcam tells him that he could get the antidote after the mission is accomplished. Our protagonist thinks of his grandpa and realizes that he got a second chance, which is to get revenge, and swallows the pill given to him. The protagonist proves himself, so the young master appreciates the protagonist and orders guard Cam to undo the pressure points and handcuffs. Guard Cam obeys the order and releases Jong from his seal. Now Jong feels a bit relieved and walks out of the prison as Guard Cam leads the way outside. After they were outside, Guard Cam tells them to be silent and turns his head back. However, an unexpected event happens where Jong twists the head of the young master and kills him in an instant. Jong states to Guard Cam that the fakes are dead. So let's check out what happened before Jong got arrested. Everyone was shouting and running away from Jong, and the protagonist holds a head in his hand and expressed this as fun, while everyone was in fear and requesting to help. Jong doesn't even hesitate and slaughters everyone in his way with a smile on his face. He states that this was his true nature that his grandfather told never to reveal. Now he understands that he was smiling while killing all those people and understands what his grandfather was referring to. He doesn't understand whether his true nature was evil or not. He just kills for enjoyment. In that moment, a person kicks Jong from a side. He covered his face in a hat. Even though his face isn't visible, a scar on his left eye is the only thing Jong can see. The man is surprised after watching Jong survive that. Jong instantly recognizes this man as dangerous. The man pulls out his sword and understands Jong haven't learned any martial arts yet. Still, Jong somehow managed to survive his ultimate attack. The man grabs Jong's neck and is fascinated by how a kid who haven't even learned martial arts has tailing his group. The man stabs Jong and states that a talent like you shouldn't live. Jong coughs up blood and the man kills Jong. Somehow he managed to survive, but he was arrested. Finally, he got a second chance and killed the young master. Now Guard Cam is furious. He grasps Jong's neck and interrogates him for what he did, but Jong responds in a cool manner that it is better to get rid of unnecessary risk, which would get me killed. Guard Cam startles for a second and questions him, "Didn't you consider the possibility that I might kill you?" Then our intelligent protagonist responds that he might have been dead already if that were the case, and he also assumes that Guard Cam doesn't have any attachment to the young master. Guard Cam can't believe how a kid was so clever, and he flips Jong completely. Guard Cam picks out his knife and warns Jong that he's going to kill him now. Jong asks, is it really necessary? Because he already took the poison and the antidote is with Guard Cam. So Jong would have no choice but to obey him. Guard Cam thinks for a moment and chooses to let Jong live. Guard Cam declares that, from today onwards you are Mok Jaeongwon. Jong smirks in an evil way, thinking about his revenge. Guard Cam takes the protagonist to the Mok Sword Manor, and he also explains the limits that Jong shouldn't cross, like not meeting the people of Mok Sword Manor, and that he should get the neutralizer every 24 hours or the poison in his body will react and gets him killed. If he tries to do something that causes trouble, Jong will not get the antidote. After the event, Jong's thoughts were all about how lucky he was, that he survived the stab wounds, and also he got a new life. He's going to pretend to be the young master and train in martial arts, so that he can avenge his grandfather and kills the man in the same way who killed his grandfather. The next day, even though he gets a new life and had a chance to learn martial arts, but Guard Cam left another guard to keep an eye on Jong. The new guard's name is Go-chan, and he is Guard Cam's disciple. Go-chan thinks that Guard Cam has gotten soft, because what's so special about a kid that hasn't even learned martial arts? A day before, Go-chan was shocked that Jong killed Mok Jaeongwon. However, Guard Cam only replies that to keep an eye on him and to make sure he doesn't leave this place, so that Guard Cam can come up with a different plan. Once the plan is executed, they will throw out Jong and side with someone else. But Go-chan says they fed him poison, so Jong should obey us. Guard Cam objects he is not that easy to handle, because he managed to kill the young master even though he was on the brink of death. At the present moment, Go-chan is banging his head because he can't go against his master's orders and stands guard outside. Inside the room, Jong's thoughts were about, why do they need a stand-in the first place, and Guard Cam just left a guard on watch and left. Jong understands that this place don't even need a stand-in the first place. That means they have some other reason for that, and Jong quickly realized that Guard Cam is going to switch sides. So he opens the door, and Go-chan questions Jong where he is going. Jong replies, he wants some fresh air, and had some questions to ask Go-chan. However, Go-chan warns him to get inside the room. Go-chan grasps Jong's collar and pushes him back. Then Zhang catches that Go-chan is weaker than Guard Cam and flips him upside down exactly how Guard Cam did to Zhang and tries to seal all his preserve points. Go-chan can't even move in that situation. Then he uses his complete strength to move and Zhang tries to seal his points again by saying he just copied Guard Cam's movements exactly, and that's not easy. Now Go-chan understands Guard Cam was right, that Zhang is able to copy what he witnessed only once. Go-chan blackmails Zhang about the poison, that if Go-chan don't give him the neutralizer Zhang will be dead, and orders him to leave. But Zhang bites his finger and makes Go-chan swallow his blood. Go-chan freezes for a moment and tries to circulate his inner energy to expel the poison. But what he don't know is that he swallowed Zhang's blood, which contains a lot of poisonous properties, because Zhang tried all kinds of poison ever since he was a kid with his grandfather. So his blood became a unique poison itself, and Zhang can tell what herbs were used in a poison just by smelling or tasting it. So most poisons don't work on Zhang. To be clear, Zhang don't even need the neutralizer in the first place. Now Zhang blackmails Go-chan to explain him about Mock Sword Manor, or he won't neutralize the poison of his blood. Go-chan fears that he is a demon. Later, in the master's room of the Mock Manor, a doctor looks for a solution for an illness, which the mock master Mock-inden was caught in. The doctor uses all his experience and uses all kinds of herbs, but unable to find a solution. If Mock-inden dies with this illness, there would be a fight for succession because the master hadn't chosen the successor yet. Then a lady enters the room, which is the first wife of Mock-inden. She loves her son very much that she would do anything to secure the master position for her son. She inquires about Mock-inden. The doctor greets the lady and explains that his knowledge is lacking, so he is unable to figure out a solution. Then the first lady states she asked for a shaman to perform shamanistic arts to cure the mystery illness. The doctor objects shamanism is nothing more than a false belief. However, the first wife don't care about that and excuses the doctor. She believes to cure this illness with a shaman and commands not to allow anyone into the main hall. Go-chan explains that this is the situation in the manor. Then Zhang sets off to see the manor master with Go-chan. Zhang learns about the truth that third young master and Guard Cam planned. The plan is to let the first son start moving, so both Zhang and the first could kill each other. The first son, Mock Yongo, loves drinking and womanizing that he goes to the tavern every other day. He is the least capable of the four siblings and is greedy and cruel. The second son, Mock Yunpyeong, is clever and cunning. By learning about these two, Zhang understands the true plan is to call the first son and make him kill the stand-in, which is Zhang. Later the first and second son would kill each other. Ultimately, the original third young master would win. However, a variable has appeared after Zhang killed the third young master. Go-chan questions why Zhang is going to the manor master's hall. Zhang explains it is related to his life, and warns Go-chan to keep it a secret from Guard Cam. At that moment, the shaman has arrived to manor and requests to visit manor master. First wife trusts Shaman Myo because of his achievements. Shaman appreciates it and requests to visit the master before it's too late, because the longer the illness lasts, the more the master weakens. Shaman asks everyone to leave the main building, even the first lady. First lady reminds the shaman about a deal, and shaman tells her to not worry about that, which is the master's seal and the secret manual. First lady offered 300 silver coins if the mission is accomplished. Then First Lady commands everyone to leave the main building until she say again. When First Lady walks out of the building, she witnesses the fourth young master of Mock family, Mock Yu-chun. The fourth young master of the Mock family is the child of a concubine, and First Lady hates the concubine and her child. Subsequently, Zhang arrives after First Lady moves out, and he also witnesses Mock Yu-chun. Go-chan explains to Zhang about the fourth son that he is a martial arts prodigy, and most suitable person to inherit the master position. Zhang asks Go-chan, is it a way to learn martial arts? And Go-chan replies it is only for lower body strength, since martial arts comes from one's lower body. Then Zhang instantly asks if he can kill Guard Cam if he learned martial arts. At this moment, Go-chan grasped that Zhang has predicted their plan to abandon him. He can't believe the cleverness of Zhang, which exceeds his expectations. But Go-chan explains that the basics of martial arts is internal training. which is one method to gather the nature's energy by breathing to create an inner chi. The more inner chi one has, the stronger he is. However, inner chi cannot be obtained in a day. At the moment, even if Jong learns martial arts, it would be difficult to defeat a first-class martial artist like Guard Cam, since Guard Cam has 30 years more inner chi than Jong. Jong understands it would be difficult to beat Guard Cam in a short period of time. Go Chan's thoughts are, Jong won't be able to do it in his lifetime, because there is a period of time to do internal training like, from 5 to 9 years. If a person hasn't completed it in due time, impure energy will stack and hard to gather inner chi. Go-chan chuckles inwardly. Instantly Jong recognizes the chuckle and touches Go's cheek and offers him to join as Jong's subordinate. Go hesitates for a moment, but accepts it. Jong thinks it would be impossible to kill Guard Cam in this state, and it is also hard to bring Guard Cam on his side. Go suggests to leave before fourth son notices, because 2 years ago the third young master called the fourth young master's mother a vulgar woman, and third young master was beaten to a pulp. Jong laughs after hearing this story and leaves the place. In the main hall, the shaman observes the master's body. After seeing the martyr's body, he thinks it is murderous energy. A normal person would have been dead already, so the survival rate is 50% only. The shaman now starts the ritual. He chants a few shamanic spells and starts the shamanism. The master feels uneasy after starting it, because of the murderous energy. Instantaneously the door opens from the backside and the shaman is interrupted. The murderous energy blows from the master and shaman falls down. Jong and Go enters the room and were shocked after witnessing the master's state. Jong moves forward and greets the master. The shaman yells at them to leave this place, no matter who it is. But Go denies to move out. Suddenly, the master makes a unique sound, and the mysterious illness takes over the manor master. The shaman requests the two of them to help him by holding the manor master, so he doesn't break the strings. The master almost loses the strings and shaman starts chanting the spells again. However, his spells were unable to do anything to the master. The master breaks Go's arm and holds onto his arm to transfer the demonic energy to Go-chan. In that moment, Jong cuts off the master's arm without hesitation. He won't stop there and cuts off the other arm too. Then the shaman applies the seal on the master and his arm. After seeing all this mess, the shaman tries to escape from the main building ASAP. But Jong points his sword at the shaman's neck, and he asks the shaman, "Is this also the doing of the mysterious illness?" The shaman answers yes, and tells him to complete the process quickly. He tells there is no time for this, and he accidentally slips his tongue by saying, "Do you also want the master dead?" Jong recognizes his fault and questions him. Who is the person that wants the master dead? Shaman tells it was a misunderstanding, but Jong won't buy that and points his blade closer to shaman's throat. Jong warns the shaman to tell the truth. Otherwise, he'll kill him. He answers, it was the first lady that ordered him to locate the secret manual and the manor master's seal using the evil spirit, and the manor master life is not necessary to spare. Jong don't know what's a secret manual and manor master seal, and Go explains to Jong that they must save the manor master life, or with the help of those two items the first lady can make her child secure the master position, and now that Jong has interfered with the first lady plans, she will try to kill Jong also. The shaman begs Jong that he will save the master's life, but Jong rejects it and orders him to locate the secret manual and seal first. The shaman and Go were shocked for a moment there. The shaman explains it would be hard to try anything now, because the matter has gotten much worse compared to before. However, Jong don't care about that, and makes the shaman start the process. Now, the shaman uses a vessel to make the evil spirit believe that the vessel is the manor master. The shaman starts the chanting and tricks the evil into the vessel. Right after that, the shaman thinks of something evil in his mind. The shaman states that he will restrict the evil spirit, and it wouldn't be better for Go to stay here. After hearing the shaman words, Go leaves the room. Instantly the shaman commences the ritual. The spirit answers the call and wakes up. The shaman starts questioning the spirit about the secret manual and the manor seal location. The evil spirit answers the questions. Jong and the shamna both remembered the area. The vessel breaks, and the evil spirit moves back to the manor master. However, the shaman requests Jong to cut the string, and Jong does as the shaman requested. But the evil spirit now catches on to Jong, and the shaman makes an evil face. The evil spirit contains strong killing intent from the beginning, and by the time it broke free, Jong was caught in it. The shaman plans to put all blames on Jong and receives the payment from the First Lady. He sticks a talisman on Jong's forehead. Inside Jong's body, the evil spirit is furious and plans to take control over Jong's mind. Now Jong is in his own delusion and trapped in a slumber. He is in a forest and remembers the place as watering hole. He does things as usual, like filling the bucket and carrying it to his grandfather. Somehow it feels a bit strange to him today, and glimpses a fire in the forest. That is the direction to his home. He runs in that direction, shouting for his grandfather. By the time he arrived, his grandpa has already sliced in half. Jong finally understood the true meaning of his grandfather's existence, but it is already late. The spirit spectates the scene from backside, and traps Jong with his memories. At that moment, the spirit tries to invade Jong's body completely. Suddenly, his grandfather speaks and Jong snaps out of it. He can't believe what he was witnessing. He hugs his grandpa with love. He thinks to never lose his grandpa ever again. The spirit laughs from a side and slowly takes control over Jong. Jong asks his grandpa a question about Jong's name being similar to righteous. When the spirit closes the gap to Jong, Jong stares back at the spirit, which scares even the devil itself. He grasps the devil with his hand and tells him that it was annoying to make his grandfather play like that. The spirit can't believe how Jong can see him. Jong states that the delusion should have been him taking revenge on the bastard who killed his grandfather. The spirit senses a dangerous presence inside Jong, which was sealed. A presence of pure killing intent, a desire strong enough to subdue even a spirit itself. That is not something a living can possess. Jong's grandfather replies to him about his name. It was because Jong is different from others. So, he wished Jong to grow in a righteous way. That's why Jong's name contains the character righteous. By saying these words he fades away. The spirit escapes from Jong's clutches and runs as fast as possible with fear. After running for a while, he reaches deep inside Jong's consciousness. It is peaceful with flowers and all. However, there is a door with a seal on it. The spirit understands that the door contains all the memories that were sealed in Jong's mind. The spirit attempts to open it. But Jong pulls the spirit back, and he swallows the devil itself. Coming back, the shaman turns back and he can't understand what's happening here. Jong has subdued the demonic spirit and named it as demonic monk. On the outside, the inner home master, Jang Myeon-jin, is worrying about the master of the Mok Manor. He and Mok Indin worked together 19 years ago to subjugate the pirates. Later Jang pledged his loyalty to Mok Indin and settled in the Mok Sword Manor as inner hall master. The First Lady made a deal to Jang, that is to permit the shaman, so that he could locate the secret manual and the seal. Likewise, the first young master could become stronger. Jang thinks that shaman is a fraud, and he's going to blackmail the master to locate the items. He can't control his curiosity and moves to check on Mok Indin. In the hall, the shaman recognizes that it is not a regular vengeful spirit. It's a high-class evil spirit. Jong commands the spirit to kill the shaman. The evil spirit confronts with full speed. The shaman uses his shamanism to block the spirit. But even the shaman is scared after witnessing that Jong could order a high-class spirit. The spirit uses his powers to push the shaman back, with a smirk on the face. Then multiple of hands come from the spirit and catches the shaman to swallow. The shaman begs Jong to release him, but Jong declines. The shaman apologizes if it was for betraying him, but Jong states, it is because he knows the whereabouts of the secret manual and the seal. The shaman realizes that from the start Jong has planned on killing the shaman. Jong welcomes Go inside, but Go is shocked after seeing the state the shaman is in. Jong asks Go to carry the corpse. Jong picks up the sword and swings it all around the room. Jong makes a plan, which is, the shaman went crazy and cut the manor lord's arms. Exactly at that moment Jong and Go stumbled upon the scene to put a stop to it. Go explains, no one would believe it that easily and it only draws suspicion towards Jong. After listening to Go's words Jong points his sword towards him and stabs his legs. So that everyone would believe the shaman even tried to murder the young master too. Jong asks, is it more believable now? Go sees the determination in Jong. Just to make things more clear, Jong stabbed his own legs. Go thinks Zhang is becoming scarier. No, scary isn't a word to describe his character. It's horrifying. In this moment, Zhang opens the door and his mind is blown after noticing the mess. He thinks Zhang and Go has done this mess. Go explains it is a misunderstanding. Zhang gets up to explain the situation, but falls down. Zhang yells at Go to explain the situation properly. Go looks at Zhang and he is smiling. Now Go understood it is all Zhang's acting. Later, due to Zhang's acting, he ends up at Medicinal Hall. To be clear, he is in the place near to the secret manual and the seal, and he plans to look about them at night. Go visits Zhang. He gives the books that were in possession of the shaman. Go barely got them before they got burned. The manor people burning all the items that were in possession of the shaman to get rid of the evidence. Go is wondering about why Zhang is interested in those books. Zhang tells Go to look outside the window. Go looks outside the window, but he can't see anything. But there is a spirit outside. After that, the First Lady barges into Medicinal Hall to have a chat with Zhang. Go greets the First Lady. Zhang realizes her as the First Lady of the Mock Sword Manor, and even Guard Cam listed her as the #1 person of interest. The First Lady is from a martial clan, and her martial arts are first-rate, and she is clever too. Zhang greets the First Lady too, but he won't get up from the bed. Go thinks Zhang acted better than he expected. Then the First Lady instantly injures Zhang's injury. The guard points her sword towards Go, so he won't save Zhang. The First Lady figures out that Zhang is the culprit of the incident. She whispers that he can't fool her like he did to the Inner Hall Master Zhang. She states that a skilled shaman would never be possessed during a ritual. She slaps Zhang furiously for trying to make her a fool with a lie. She queries him about what happened in the main building. Zhang laughs at First Lady, and he calls Demonic Monk. Demonic Monk swiftly moves and control the guard that First Lady brought. She recognizes the scene similar to what happened to the shaman. Zhang mentions the secret manual and the seal to the First Lady. The guard feels uneasy with the Demonic Monk. Zhang proposes the First Lady to a negotiation instead of threatening him. He states that he don't want to be the Manor Master, but he could give that chance to the Second Master or the lowly Fourth Master. Zhang explains to her that she is not the one with the upper hand. Later in Lady Suk's room, she is furious and throws the items around her. First Lady's anger is because of Zhang. He easily fooled her and took all the fruits of her labor. Lady Suk thinks all of this happened because she let her guard down around Zhang, who she thought would be scared of her. She believes Zhang has hiding his true self this entire time, and after his mother's death, everyone on Third Master's side began to lose influence. The guard recommends to kill Zhang before he does more. She refuses the guard because it could raise suspicions towards them after causing the ruckus in the Medicinal Hall. The First Lady plans to eliminate Zhang using the Phoenix Pavilion. The Phoenix Pavilion is the place where the shaman is from. The First Lady lets the Phoenix Pavilion know about the shaman's death so that they could take revenge on Zhang. In the midnight, at the Medicinal Hall, Zhang reads the contents of the book, and the book states that when a dead person turns into a spirit due to their unresolved resentment, they turns into a vengeful spirit, and the strength depends on many conditions, like there are 3 types of spirits. The first one is a red spirit. It is bound to a certain location, and it can cause a person to experience chills or goosebumps. The second spirit can make the human body, causing lethargy and exhaustion or even sickness. The third is a yellow spirit. These are the dangerous spirits that should be exorcised. The yellow spirit has the power to kill a person. Then Demonic Monk arrives and states that he found the area. Zhang thinks the Demonic Monk is a yellow spirit. Zhang moves to find the secret manual and the seal. On his way, he learns more about the spirits and understands that Demonic Monk powers didn't work on the First Lady, but luckily it worked on the maid. If the spirit powers won't work on a first-rate martial artist, then the Demonic Monk's power won't work on Guard Cam too. However, it worked on Go-chan. So Zhang sets a goal to find a 4th-level spirit, called Green Spirits. These spirits are existed for decades and has the abilities to control its surroundings and cause hallucinations. These are very dangerous and must be exorcised at all costs. Zhang is on his way to find the secret manual and the seal. Zhang walks down through the steps deep and deep. Zhang acknowledges the value of the manual if it was hidden this deep inside the manor. Zhang needs more cards to use on Guard Cam, because Demonic Monk powers won't work on Guard Cam. Finally, a door is visible. Inside the room, there are 4 more doors. According to the Manor Master's evil spirit, it should be inside the 4th door. Zhang enters the 4th room, and there is still a long way to walk in. Accidentally, Zhang steps on a stone, and it triggers a large rock from upside. Zhang quickly jumps out and lands on another trap. Arrows were shot towards Zhang, and he deflects them with the lantern he's holding. A large trunk was released towards him. He dodges it and thinks, is there something more than the secret manual, because the cave is full of traps. Zhang is more intrigued now to check out what's inside the cave. At last, he reaches a symmetrical place made up of wood. There is a wooden box on a table in the center of the room. Inside the box there are 2 books, according to Go Chan. One book is a sword technique, and the other one is a cultivation technique. Zhang takes both of the books, but something feels strange to Zhang, and he spectates around the room. There is a large wooden box, which looks heavy and not functional. There are also traces of the wooden box been dragged to the place it is right now. Zhang pushes the box, and there are seals on the floor. Zhang opens up all the seals, and there is another wooden box inside it. This chest gives off ominous vibes to Zhang, and when he opens it there is book made up of leather. The lantern suddenly shuts off, and to be precise, the book is made up of human skin with beads and charms all around the book. Outside the medicinal hall, the second young master is having a party with his subordinates, and he expresses that he's going to be the manor master due to Guard Cam is on his side from today onwards. Guard Cam greets the second young master. The second young master, Mok Yunpyeong, prepared a welcome party for Guard Cam. He wanted to give a grand feast, but his father, the manor master, is unwell. Guard Cam is honored for this treatment as well. After a while, Yunpyeong learns that Zhang lost his martial arts. According to Guard Cam, the real Mok Jang-woon is dead and the fake one don't know martial arts. But he doesn't intend to tell the truth that third master is dead to Yunpyeong, because Guard Cam's life would be in danger if everyone knows that he is unable to protect the third young master. He thinks to decapitate Zhang as proof to show his loyalty to second son Yunpyeong. Yunpyeong is happy after he is informed about Mok Jang-woon unable to use martial arts. Yunpyeong is also grateful because now Guard Cam is on his side. Yunpyeong wonders about the reason how Jang-woon lost his martial arts, but Guard Cam apologies that he cannot answer to it at the moment. But he assures Yunpyeong no harm would come even if he don't know. Yunpyeong trusts Guard Cam because he is a former assassin from an infamous place. Guard Cam is irritated after hearing Yunpyeong words. Yunpyeong excuses Guard Cam and calls him later if it is urgent. Yunpyeong states to his guards to keep an eye on Guard Cam, and he commands a guard to check on Zhang. Whether he actually lost his martial arts or not, and to break an ankle of Zhang to make it more fun. Beneath the medicine hall, Zhang feels a beat under his fingertips that is closer to death. He don't understand why is something like this down here. To satisfy his curiosity, he wanted to untie the rosary and check out its contents. But demonic monk appears, and he trembles in fear. After he catches sight of the book, Zhang realizes this is something worth it, because even the demonic monk kneels before it. But if the demonic monk is here, then it means there is an intruder. Outside the medicinal hall, the guard that was sent the second young master is here to check out on Zhang. However, go guarding outside instead guarding Zhang. The guard thinks this is the right time to strike Zhang and moves to the medicinal hall. The guard peeks into Zhang's room, but nothing seems to be out of ordinary. Zhang sleeps like a kid inside the room. The guard enters the room silently through the window. The guard finds a manual on the table, and he's shocked after realizing what it is. With this book in possession of the second master, they could easily gain the upper hand. However, Zhang appears silently from backside and observes the guard. Zhang grabs the guard's head and slams it on the table. He asks the guard whether is he sleepy or not. He bangs the guard's head on the table again and again and again. The guard thinks he is a mad demon. Later, the loses consciousness, and Zhang takes him to place beneath the medicinal hall and ties him upside down. The guard wakes up and Zhang starts the questioning. Before taking the guard to the underground, Go arrives to the medicinal hall and explains Zhang about the guard that his name is Cho Il-sang, and he's an escort of the second master. By the appearance of the guard and how he infiltrated this place, he had no good intentions. Zhang picks the guard up and takes him to the underground to interrogate him. Go requests Zhang to not torture him, because the second master loves his subordinates very much, and if anything happens to them, he'll be greatly enraged. Zhang doesn't care about that and moves on, no matter how much Go-chan begs. Zhang moves on his way. Now beneath the medicinal hall, the guard requests to let him go. Zhang demands a reason, and the guard answers he is a close subordinate to the second master, and he warns that Zhang will be in severe danger if he don't let him go now. He demands him to not overdo this, and he'll put him in a good word with the second master, so that he could spare Zhang's life at least. The guard thinks Zhang is feared, but he don't know our protagonist isn't a saint to let him go so easily. He's a demon. Zhang is fascinated, and accepts the guard's words about how much the second master cherishes his subordinates. Zhang stands to let him go and unties his ropes, but he surprises that one of his fingers is sliced. Now, Zhang starts questioning about whose finger it is. The guard can't feel anything even after one of his fingers is sliced off. He can't move nor feel his ki. Zhang explains that is because of a poison called aesthetic. He made the poison from combining the herbs from the medicinal hall, and the guard shouldn't be able to feel anything for 2 to 4 hours. Now Zhang starts questioning, and if the guard don't answer immediately, Zhang's going to cut off one finger for every 1 second that passes. The first question is about why did Yinpiang send the guard to Zhang? After the time starts, Zhang cuts off one finger, but the guards still don't respond. So Zhang cuts off the second finger. The guard curses Zhang to stop, but Zhang won't even care. In that flow, Zhang cuts off 4 fingers in total, and blackmails the guard. The next one is thumb finger. Then the guard responds. He was ordered to confirm whether Zhang really lost his martial abilities or not. Zhang thinks for a moment and instantly realizes that guard Cam has switched sides so quickly. Then Zhang proceeds to next question, which is guard Cam responsible for this? The guard nods his face, and Zhang acknowledges guard Cam for using his head. The guard was astonished because of how quickly Zhang realized that guard Cam has betrayed him. The guard can't understand whether Mok Jiangwen was always this clever or Jiangwen doubted guard Cam from the beginning. Now Zhang doesn't have any questions to ask the guard, so he's thinking what to do with the guard. The guard is aware that he is going to be killed, so the guard swears his loyalty to Zhang. He screams that he never thought that the third young master was this brilliant. The guard even offers his life and will do anything to work under Zhang. Zhang happens to have a task and seek his loyalty that from the guard. The guard is happy because he is saved after completing the task and requests Zhang to use him as he likes. Then Zhang slits the throat of the guard and responds the task is to offer the guard's life. Zhang borrows the blood of the guard to use it on the book he found a while ago. After spectating the book for a while, Zhang understands to weaken the power of the seal, which is made up of pure energy. One needs to pour in pure energy to make the seal weaken. So Zhang used the guard's blood, because he died a regrettable death. This is all the information Zhang learned from one of the shaman's book. Zhang keeps the book under the guard so that his blood would fall on the book. When the blood filled the wooden book with the book in it, the impurity is completed and the seal is broken. Zhang holds back to see what would come out of it. Then the blood overflowed and filled the room. The blood slowly takes a form and releases a tremendous energy, which made Zhang unable to see. It became silent all of a sudden, and when Zhang opens his eyes, he is in a world filled with blood, and a woman appears before him. Zhang amazed after realizing that this is not the power of a 4th-level spirit. It is the power of a 5th-level spirit. According to the book, the 5th-level spirits are called blue spirits, which are existed for more than a century. Zhang thought a 5th-level spirit or something similar would appear. He thinks of this as a gratitude. In that moment, he is being kneeled to the strength of the spirit. The spirit announces to Zhang to offer his soul to her. To subdue or exorcise a 5th-level spirit, a minimum of 10 shaman masters are needed. After a while, Zhang struggles to stand up and refuses to offer his soul. But Zhang understands why they are extremely dangerous, and he speaks to the blue spirit about the knowledge he gained about spirits. The most important point about spirits is all the spirits need someone's body. So spirits can't do anything without a vessel. The spirit gets a bit frustrated after Zhang explained to her about the spirits. Zhang stands up and annoys the spirit to take his body by force if she can. Immediately she strikes him with a bloodshot and Zhang is injured severely and falls down. The spirit pities Zhang and strikes him again with much force. She warns Zhang to stay down and obediently and offer his soul. The spirit is impressed because Zhang withstood that even though half of the flesh on his face is torn off. The spirit pushes him back and makes an offer to Zhang, which is to submit his soul, and she could fulfill one of his desires. Zhang questions the spirit about why is she making an offer to him. The spirit states it is a consideration to his will. It means she could gain nothing if Zhang's body is damaged more. Zhang asks what if he refuses. The spirit responds with a death stare. She will simply kill him and finds another soul. Zhang mumbles, there is one desire. The spirit brightens up and questions him about his desire, and the spirit guesses whether it is a betrayal or a family member Zhang loved has died. She would tear them into shreds and remove their soul from existence. And Zhang brazenly responds his wish is for the woman to shut up and obediently become his familiar spirit. The spirit grits her teeth and uses all the blood accumulated in the area and makes it flow towards Zhang. She states in anger that his flesh, bones, and body will be butchered. The spirit expresses it will damage his body, but it is necessary to take his body. Zhang is unable to anything, and he loses consciousness. But his senses tells him that this tastes like blood. The color is much more red than a cornelian cherry, and a metallic taste. But it's different compared to the blood he experienced. When he was a scythe demon, he tasted plentiful of blood, and the taste back then was like trembling of life, heat, and warmth. To be exact, it meant to be alive. However, what he feels right now is death. After Zhang figured it out that all of this merely an illusion, the world filled with blood breaks down completely. The spirit couldn't believe what she witnessed, and she was pushed back by the force caused by Zhang. The blue spirit creates a butterfly with blood and moves the butterfly in Zhang's direction, but it barely does any damage to him. The spirit recognizes this realm as transcendence. This is a realm used to escape any hallucination by rejecting all their five senses. However, it is much harder than it sounds. Even a first-rate shaman finds difficulty in completely rejecting all their five senses. But Zhang, he's not even a shaman, has reached such a realm. And the only possible answer is, Zhang is born with the qualities of a great shaman. Zhang laughs loudly in front of the spirit, and it irritates her. She speaks, just because you escaped a illusion doesn't mean you have the upper hand. But Zhang states he had a fun idea. He shows the book to the blue spirit, and it makes her furious. As per the shaman book which Zhang got after killing the shaman in the main building, called Inyang School, the older a spirit, the more likely they are connected to a vessel that connects them to this realm. In that case, the vessel which is connecting the blue spirit to this realm is the book made with human skin. Zhang tears the book with his teeth, which inflicts pain to her, and enrages the blue spirit even more. The blue spirit curses Zhang, and she don't seem to understand how can Zhang harm a book which is imbued with demonic qi. Even the first-rate shamans barely managed to seal it after many attempts at destroying it. But Zhang simply did it with his teeth. She grabs Zhang's neck with force and pushes him back, and tells him that she doesn't need his body anymore. Zhang snickers even in this moment and states that it could have ended if she just snatched the book, but she didn't. It means she is unable to touch the book. Even though he's being inflicted pain, Zhang still tries to swallow that piece he grabbed with his teeth. He realizes the blood that entered into his body earlier made his blood flow travel in reverse. This situation happened to him when he first ate a poisonous herb. But right now he could sense a soul's rage. A rage against someone as strong as Zhang and desire for revenge. At last, Zhang swallowed the piece of human skin even though the blue spirit grabbed his neck and shouting not to do it. She is now furious as hell and squeezes his more and more. Instantly Zhang is transferred to another world again, and this time an ocean of corpses are floating around him. And a person is kneeled with a sword in front of throne, and she is the blue spirit. She ties her hand to the sword using a cloth, and points her sword to the one sitting on the throne and speaks something, but Zhang couldn't hear it. All he felt is her rage. She speaks something again and moves forward to kill the person who is like a king. But the king-like person easily took the heart of the blue spirit and throws her away. A few masters appear from behind the king and runs toward her. Every one of them takes up their knives and stabs her, and the blue spirit died like that. Coming back to present, someone yells loudly and a red color thread comes from Zhang's heart, and on the other end it is the blue spirit. She finally became a familiar spirit. Zhang is happy now that he got a blue spirit. The blue spirit grabs Zhang's neck again, But now that she became a familiar spirit, even she could feel the pain that Jong is experiencing. So she leaves his neck and coughs up. She is frustrated and walks away. Jong thinks if the blue spirit is experiencing pain right now because she became a familiar spirit, that means there is a chance demonic monk could feel the pain before, because Jong literally came back from dead earlier. Meanwhile, demonic monk's situation is like he is almost evaporated. Jong express, why don't we introduce ourselves since we stay together from now on? Jong walks over to the spirit and introduces himself as Mok Jang-woon and asks the spirit about her name, so he could call the spirit with her name. But she don't respond whatsoever, so Jong plans to call her whatever he wants, and calls her Red Dung Beetle. She is frustrated for calling with such a name, so Jong thinks she doesn't like that. Jong asks her again for the name, but she won't like to tell her name to a stupid mortal. Then Jong plans to call her Blue Spirit, since she is a blue spirit. She just sits quietly, and she liked the name, so Jong plans to call her with that. However, she's got quite the ego, and it's not like Jong could beat her up to tame or anything. He thinks to slowly persuade her to like him. Now Jong asks the blue spirit about the book with human leather. She replies that she don't know any blue spirit and someone with that name. She walks away telling that she is busy. Jong's eye catches something interesting, that this book is written in blood. Jong smirks and thinks about this book, which is wrapped in human leather and written with blood, which he finds is fascinating. But the characters doesn't make sense to him at all. He can't understand what characters these are supposed to mean. Blue Spirit chuckles at Jong. Jong finds it a bit annoying and tries to figure the characters by himself. After spectating the book for a while, he learns something and reads out, without despair, rely on the mind of the other form. Before nothingness, there must have been a form. What seems to be may not actually be. As Jong reads out the chant, all the chi around him circulates towards Jong. Jong reads out again, the demon in the way of the good, but the ultimate blood has the power to reverse all. After reading the chant, the book he holds sticks to his palm and won't let loose. Blue Spirit can't believe what he did. Jong inquires that whether this book has something to do with it or not. Suddenly, all his veins tightens up, and he feels extremely pain. Blue Spirit also starts to experience the pain, and she immediately tells him to stop his breathing, empty his mind, and don't think about anything at all. Jong does all of that in an instant, and the vein slowly starts to set back and the book falls down. Blue Spirit amazes how quickly Jong controlled his body. Jong already undone the ritual of attachment. Blue Spirit phases as to how come a mortal who hasn't even learned martial arts could attain something like this. To begin with, it's a miracle that Jong managed to carry out the ritual of attachment. Blue Spirit witnesses something that she never did in her life post-death. Jong feels good and sits down without knowing what happened to him. Blue Spirit explains to Jong all this has happened because he couldn't control the ritual of attachment properly, and his breathing is also wrong. Jong is happy now that Blue Spirit starts speaking. Blue Spirit feels embarrassed and states she is just taking care of herself because of Jong's foolish mistakes. Now Jong wants to know about the ritual of attachment, and Blue Spirit describes it as a way to pull things towards themselves, and they sticks to them. To be clear, it's like manipulating the very nature to one's own will. But Jong experiences his stomach and veins hurt him very much. Blue Spirit clarifies it happened because Jong is pulling at nothing. That's why his chi is manipulated and pulling nothing after the book, so the chi got all messed up. Blue Spirit recommends to try it with the guard's dead body. Blue Spirit tells him to focus on the guard's energy core, and his chi would probably be spread because he is dead. However, Jong doesn't know anything about the energy core and other stuff, so he wants Blue Spirit to tell him everything. Blue Spirit prepares him to start the chant, and after he started it, he keeps his palm under the guard's belly button and slowly absorbs his chi. He feels a warm energy is flowing and circling around his energy core. Blue Spirit tells him to pull forth anything and make it stick, and questions him whether he could feel it. The flowing of chi's speed increases, and this is how the ritual of attachment works. This is the first time Jong is experiencing how chi feels like. The warm energy is wrapping around Jong's torso, and he finally understands what Go-chan is referring to. According to Go-chan, it takes a lot of time to gather chi, but if one can absorb other people's inner energy, it makes Jong collect a lot of chi faster, and he can become stronger in a short period of time. In other words, Jong is smart with an anti-protagonist mind, so it's not matter of fact for him to kill other people. Suddenly, all the energy he gathered is scattered in a moment. Blue Spirit explains that is how chi works, and one needs a special method to store the chi they've absorbed. Otherwise, it won't store in the energy core. Zhang needs a unique trait in order to possess a special method, so that it won't mix with other energies. To be clear, collecting chi with the ritual of attachment is impossible. Zhang is disappointed after listening Blue Spirit words. He thought he really found a shortcut to become stronger. Blue Spirit states it is not that easy to befit a martial artist expert. However, there are plenty of uses with the ritual of attachment, like the ritual of attachment is just the first ritual of the thought-shattering 8 techniques. By just learning this method, there will be endless possibilities. Blue Spirit teaches to Zhang that even if it may scatter away the chi is still a chi, and tells him to concentrate the chi into your hand by circulating it. Nonetheless, Zhang don't know how to circulate chi into his hand. Blue Spirit teaches him step by step, and advises him to imagine it. Chi circulation and chants are all just to help one person to imagine the right picture in their head. So Blue Spirit proposes Zhang to imagine sending his chi into his hand. Blue Spirit thinks it is easier said than done, and he is still a beginner without even proper chi training, so he'll just waste precious chi. It is impossible for Zhang to achieve this in his current state. However, Blue Spirit don't know that Zhang is the protagonist of the story. Zhang manages to gather chi into his hand slowly, and once he had enough chi, he strikes the pillar with his inner energy. The pillar shatters into pieces, and even the wall behind the pillar is damaged. Blue Spirit is flabbergasted that how can a beginner who hasn't even learned martial arts or any basic training has successfully achieved it. Even in her lifetime, she witnessed a lot of individual, but not someone as talented as Zhang. He quickly grasps that why martial arts are so hyped up, because it is much easier to kill someone when you learn something like this. Blue Spirit is astonished again that how rapidly Zhang grasped the essence of martial arts. Most people say martial arts is for training the soul and mind, but all of it just nonsense. The main point of martial arts is how efficiently one can kill a person. Zhang urges to learn about the second technique, and Blue Spirit starts to teach him that, but she realizes that she'd never do something nice for Zhang and walks away. She thinks she talked more than she meant to, and she understands why the old geezers were always so obsessed with their disciples, because Zhang literally absorbed everything Blue Spirit taught him. Zhang wants to ask Blue Spirit something, but she isn't interested in it. Zhang just wanted to ask about the cold energy he felt after the chi scattered away, because chi always feels warm. Blue Spirit don't want to talk to him, so he just thinks to figuring it out by himself. They both leave the place, and Zhang learned a lot after coming to place beneath the medicinal hall. At a different place, the guard who protects the First Lady arrives at the Phoenix Pavilion and enters into it. The pavilion is filled with statues of shamans which are made up of wood, and they all look ominous to the guard. Instantly a fire is lit on a torch, and the guard explains herself why she came to the Phoenix Pavilion and how Myo Shin, the shaman, has died. She claims that the third young master Mok Jianwon is the one killed him. She states that the First Lady told her to place the 300 silver niang for expressing the grief towards Myo Shin, and offers additional 400 silver niangs if they could take upon another mission. The quest is to eliminate the third young master. She asks whether they do it, and the torch blows away. She understands they accepted the quest and appreciates them and leaves. The guard can't decipher even though there was no one in there. She could feel the stares of a lot of people in there, and she would have never come if it weren't for those quests. Inside the pavilion, the shaman's leader states it was definitely a murder, and everyone agrees to it. According to the information they received, the guard that protects the First Lady is floating, and only a yellow spirit could do something like that. The shamans think the third master was possessed by the yellow spirit. Now the shaman leader questions, is there a chance the yellow spirit has become a familiar spirit? The rest of the shaman states that if it was a beast of pure spirit or a yokai, there could be a chance, but yellow spirit would be impossible to take in as a familiar spirit. The shaman leader concludes that a shaman will eliminate the third young master of the Mok Manor and help the resentful spirit move on. Every shaman agrees to what the leader said. The next day, Go Chan yawns and curses Zhang for making him do all the errands, even though he was up all night. Go Chan tells he bought the brazier and asks for what purpose did Zhang wanted the brazier for, and Zhang replies, he had something that needs to be burned. Go asks again what does he wants to burn, and Zhang pulls out the secret manuals of the mock sword manor. Zhang tears off each page and burns them without a trace. Go-chan is screaming and can't close his mouth. He is in a state of awe. Go-chan thinks what kind of human would do something so insane. Go-chan yells at Zhang and again speaks politely by stating even if those books are useless to Zhang, that doesn't mean other people don't want that. Zhang responds that is the reason why they should burn them, so that only Zhang is able to learn them. Go-chan didn't understand what Zhang said and questioned him again. Zhang replies, all the information about is stored in his brain. He appeals for Go-chan to hand over that manual to the first lady and second young master. Zhang states everyone wants this book and Zhang is happen like a peaceful family. Zhang expressed with a smirk that, if they happily share the manual amongst each other wouldn't be nice. The next day, Guard Cam explains his morning routine, as once he wakes up, he organizes the things around him and quickly changes clothes. After that he cleans his surroundings and checks his to-do things for today. It's a habit he had since his assassin days, and soon there will be no need for that once the second young master secures the master position. He can become an elder of the mock sword manor. A guard appears and requests Guard Cam that second young master is looking for him. After a while, Guard Cam comes out of the second master hall seriously with an injury on his forehead. Just a while ago, second master states that Cho Il-sang had disappeared without a trace right after he went looking for third young master, whether he really lost his martial arts or not. Second young master is furious that Guard Cam deceived him. Guard Cam thinks something has gone off and reports that he is 100% sure about Mok Jaegwon losing his martial arts, and a different problem might have occurred. Second master throws a plate on Guard Cam and questions, then why didn't Guard Cho hasn't returned yet? Guard can't decipher how things come to this point, and his decision to change his liege will be all for naught. He can't accept this and requests second young master to spare him some time, so that he can uncover the truth behind it. Second master asks how can he trust him again. Guard Cam offers his right hand to prove his trust. Second master accepts it and gives him 4 hours to uncover the truth. If he hadn't complete his mission by the time, he will take Guard Cam's life instead of his arm. Guard Cam realizes everything is not going his way ever since the fake Mok Jaegwon appeared. The possibilities of Zhang involved is low, but if he is the main culprit, Guard Cam won't leave it at that. Guard Cam spots Go-chan and inquires him about what he is doing here, when Guard Cam told not to take Go-chan eyes off Zhang. Cam asks whether he is plotting with Zhang, and Go states the otherwise, but Guard Cam notices manual on Go-chan and pulls it out. After discerning the manual, Guard Cam furiously asks why is the manual with him. He beats Go-chan to a pulp and drags him to Zhang's room. Guard Cam kicks the door and throws Go-chan inside. Zhang welcomes Guard Cam, and Guard Cam demands an explanation and thinks his mood is ruined just by watching him again. Zhang acts innocent as to explain what. Guard Cam states there is no time for his little tricks and tells him that he made it clear from the beginning that he'll be dead if he tries anything funny. Guard Cam takes hold of Zhang's throat and warns him. Zhang responds that he don't recall Guard Cam saying not to try anything funny. Guard Cam questions Zhang what he did to the second son's subordinate. Zhang acts like he don't who it is, and Guard Cam cross-examines whether he hurt the guard or not. Zhang states that Guard Cam knows how weak Zhang is, and the guard is an expert martial artist. Guard Cam ponders he know how weak Zhang is and how strong the subordinate is also, but Guard Cam feels something off. Zhang implies how could the third son who has lost his martial arts have killed him? Those are the exact words that Guard Cam used to prove his loyalty to the second master. Guard Cam now grasps the situation and pulls his knife out to stab Zhang. Zhang ridicules Guard Cam about what will he do now. Zhang states that Guard Cam switched sides, so the fake third son killed the second son's guard. Guard Cam stabs him with the knife insanely, and later both of them sits down for a moment. Guard Cam narrates his life from how he was born an orphan and raised as an assassin. He barely managed to get into this place by sacrificing all the money and time he had. He endured all kinds of side jobs, and his life depended on those 3 years, but Zhang ruined everything. Not only Zhang killed the third son, now he also killed the second son's favorite subordinate. Guard Cam plans to escape after killing Zhang, otherwise he'll end up dead. However, Guard Cam realizes that he had an opportunity. The second master's guard is already dead, and there is nothing that can be done about it. But there is something that can replace the guard's life, which is the manual he took from Go-chan. He asks Jong whether he had the rest of the manual. Cam thinks he can save his own life if he presents the manual to the second master. Jong states he don't know about it, and guard Cam warns Jong to answer properly, or he could just kill Jong and leave. But he gives Jong a chance to repent for his mistakes. If he gives the rest of the manual, he'll leave him alive, or guard Cam threatens Jong's going to die a terrible death. Jong downheartedly accepts guard Cam's proposal. Guard Cam feels almighty and powerful when Jong accepted his proposal. Guard Cam tells Jong that he should have done this earlier and held his hand out to let him give the remaining part of the manual. However, Jong gives his hand and not the manual, and states that he is the secret manual, which he had memorized in his head. Jong expresses there is one more thing and holds guard Cam's hand firmly. Jong appreciates guard Cam and sucks his inner energy through thought-shattering 8 techniques. First technique. Guard Cam is perplexed as to what is happening. Cam realizes his inner energy is being sucked away, so he instantly switches to attack him. Jong wonders on how and whom to use this on, and guard Cam became a lab rat to Jong, and Jong is so grateful to what guard Cam has done. Guard Cam is scared and demands Jong to let him go. Guard Cam slashes Jong. After stabbing him again and again, Jong loses guard Cam's hand, and guard Cam kicks Jong off with a strong force. Guard Cam is all exhausted and can't feel any energy in his left hand. Jong signifies guard Cam as first-rate martial artist, and Jong states his current power isn't enough. So he had no choice but find a different way to kill guard Cam. Guard Cam can't accept Jong's words and utters Jong's little dirty tricks won't work again. Guard Cam yells that Jong can't defeat him, and he rushes towards Jong with murderous intent. Jong calls forth Demonic Monk. Demonic Monk catches guard Cam's hand. Guard Cam is ambiguous about how Jong blocked it and questions how Jong did this. Jong announces it is another little dirty trick of his and reveals to him in more detail. Guard Cam is terrified after witnessing the Demonic Monk. Jong states that he will give both guard Cam's inner energy and his dagger. Jong stabs guard Cam with heavy pressure and express, "They were both yours to begin with." Guard Cam falls back and coughs up blood all over the place. Guard Cam presumes the location Jong stabbed is dangerous. If guard Cam took the knife irresponsibly, the bleeding is going to be bad. He considers Jong is not easy to mess with because Jong not only absorbed Cam's inner energy, he even used Demonic Monk's force to attack guard Cam. Guard Cam concludes he was foolish to choose someone like Jong as a stand-in, but guard Cam had a secret weapon up his sleeve, which is the poison he fed to Jong. He prepared the poison exactly for something like this. Guard Cam decides to negotiate with Jong, since it'll be a loss for both of them if they continue to fight. Guard Cam offers Jong the antidote and money so he could leave this place. But guard Cam vomits more and more blood and realizes something is wrong. Even though he circulates his chi, his body is only getting worse, and he quickly recognizes poison. Jong speaks about the injuries he got and states he is not that badly injured. Guard Cam questions what did Jong has done to him. Jong responds it's nothing to consider. When Cam stabbed Jong with his dagger, Jong's blood spilled on it. Jong's blood is extremely poisonous. Jong names the ingredients guard Cam used to make the poison he fed to him, and Jong divulges about the poisonous herbs he ate ever since he was kid, so that his blood has turned into a poison itself. Jong implies that he don't need the antidote to begin with. Guard Cam perceives that he is going to be killed, and his body is trembling. Jong explains that he opened the window so that Cam would live longer if his body temperature is lowered. Poison spreading will slow down when one's body temperature is cold. Now, guard Cam pleads to have mercy on him. He begs Jong to have mercy, and that he'll swear his loyalty to Jong. He even wishes to become Jong's dog, and licks Jong's feet if Jong insisted, and crawls if he is ordered. All guard Cam needs from Jong is to spare his life. Jong likes Cam's attitude and states with that kind of attitude they could work together perfectly. Guard Cam's eyes were filled hope after hearing Jong's words. However, Jong professed that was only if he had acted like that from the beginning. He expresses that Cam changed sides quickly based on his needs, so how come someone could call it loyalty? Jong thinks guard Cam is better off dead and thrusts the knife into guard Cam's heart. At last, Jong managed to kill a first-rate martial artist with an excitement and in a demonic way, which even gave me goosebumps as I am making this video. Jong stands up and stretches his body. He took care of guard Cam earlier than he expected. Now Zhang stares at Go-chan and thinks whether to kill him or not. Zhang thinks there is no reason to kill, and considering that guard Cam don't know that Zhang burned the rest of the manual. Go-chan didn't reveal the secret even when he was beaten to a pulp. Zhang insists Go-chan to get up now that the action is completed. Go-chan questions how did Zhang know that he was awake. Zhang replies that he noticed when Go-chan is moving little by little because Go-chan is afraid of being stepped on during the fight. Zhang appreciates Go-chan for maintaining secrets between them. Go-chan smiles humbly and thanks Zhang. Zhang commands Go to send everyone somewhere else so that Zhang could take care of guard Cam's body himself. Zhang starts to use the ritual of attachment on Cam's body. He can feel the warmth of the inner energy, but it's no use to him. What Zhang wanted to check is the cold, ominous energy he felt at the underground pavilion, which is known as the death chi that he felt when he's killing. Now that the warm energy is over, Zhang starts to feel the cold energy again. The cold chi isn't scattering away like the warm energy. So he presumes that in order to collect more cold chi, he plans to kill more people. Blue Spirit spectates Zhang from a side with Demonic Monk. Blue Spirit states to Demonic Monk she understood the reason why Demonic Monk is being controlled by Zhang, because Zhang is a monster. In the second Master Pavilion, the guard Zhang expresses to Yun Pyong that guard Cam isn't lying. Second Master replies that he is already aware that guard Cam is fair and not lying. He explains to the guard that when a person is nice to someone from the beginning they get entitled, so the Second Master manifested how strict he is. If he forgives guard Cam later on, Cam will stay subservient to the Second Master. Ultimately, the Second Master states one needs to be cruel to someone before being nice with them. The guard now comprehends the Second Master's wisdom. The guard grasps that guard Cam isn't a loyal man, so it is a kind of test to prove guard Cam's loyalty. At the moment, a guard appears to report a problem. Second Master questions what is it about, and the guard states guard Cam just tried to kill the Third Master Mok Jae-won. And this is not important. The most important point is that the Third Master announced that it was the Second Master who was behind the murder attempt. Now the Second Master is in a state of shock. He is now furious about Mok Jae-won. Zhang testified in the outer chamber investigation saying Master Eun Pyong was the one who hired guard Cam. Guard Zhang inquiries about guard Cam's whereabouts, and the guard who entered now states guard Cam has disappeared after the murder attempt. Eun Pyong unsheathes his sword and endeavors to kill Mok Jae-won. Guard Zhang tries to stop Eun Pyong that if he moves forward right now it will only end up strengthening Zhang's testimony. Eun Pyong won't listen to guard Zhang and articulates about how Zhang will ridicule him in Eun Pyong's current state. However, guard Zhang recommends Eun Pyong about that place act instead. Eun Pyong stops moving and listens to his guard. Guard Zhang explains that Zhang testified guard Cam was after him in the investigation. So they try to use the organization guard Cam was affiliated with. The organization is prideful with their rules like, if an assassin fails to complete an assassination, it is not to be tolerated. Even if they are retired assassins, there are no exceptions. They need to complete the assassination they are tasked with by any means necessary. Guard Zhang plans to explain the situation to the 3 assassination organization in the Central Plains, the Flying Death School. Eun Pyong is now happy after hearing the Flying Death School's name. In the Third Master's residence, Zhang is trying to create a chi center as written in the secret manual, but it's off no use. Even if he succeed in circulating the chi near the chi center, the energy starts dispersing. He don't know what is wrong with him, so he calls Go-chan and explains the situation he is experiencing right now. Go-chan is under the impression that Zhang is completely clueless about martial arts a day ago, and now he's being able to feel the ki and even circulated it in a single night. Go-chan wanted to say that's load of crap, but he politely asks Zhang to check for himself. Go-chan plans to flow his chi in Zhang's body to confirm why it's disappearing. Go-chan thinks not to get on Zhang's nerves, and that Zhang is still a kid who likes to pretend like that knows all. Go-chan and Zhang sits down, and Go requests Zhang to not pay any attention to him. Go-chan was amazed after he felt the ki from Zhang, and that Zhang doesn't have any waste matter in his meridians, so there's no blockage at all. It's an impossible feat unless a master of inner body trains Zhang every day. Go-chan realizes Zhang to be one of a genius. Instantly Go feels a strange energy, something so cold and freighting, then all of a sudden the chi blows off. Zhang is disappointed that it happened again and demands Go-chan to explain what happened truthfully, whether Zhang could form his chi or not. Go-chan responds that he felt a strange energy near Zhang's chi center and that he cannot explain what it might be. Zhang imagines that his cold energy is probably the reason to the problem and believes that he needs to give up on martial arts. At that moment, Go states that cold energy disperses the warm energy, so it doesn't feel like an energy that is created by usual circulation. The cold energy is exactly like the opposite of the warm energy. By Go-chan's statement, Zhang thinks there could be a possibility, because life chi is warm and death chi is cold. Zhang states to Go-chan that he is going to circulate his chi in reverse. Go-chan immediately attempts to stop Zhang, but he is pulled back by Blue Spirit and whispers him to shut up. Blue Spirit thinks Zhang is going to get himself killed with his incomplete knowledge. If a familiar attempts to kill their contractor, the backlash would also kills the spirit. However, if the contractor dies of their own accord, the contract will end without any constraints. Blue Spirit expresses to Demonic Monk that they are going to be free, and when Zhang comes out as a spirit after he dies, Blue Spirit is going to tear him apart with her own hands. Meanwhile, in the First Lady chamber, the shaman from the Phoenix Pavilion arrives, and her name is New Moon. The First Lady imagines even after a powerful shaman has died, the Phoenix Pavilion sent a single shaman, and from the voice of the shaman, the First Lady grasps the shaman seems to be a young woman. What piqued the First Lady curiously is that the Lady Shaman brought the previous shaman's dead body. The Lady Shaman explains that she brought his junior Myo Shin's dead body to track down the killer. The First Lady understands that the Lady Shaman is higher in status compared to Myo Shin because she called Myo Shin her junior. The Lady Shaman expresses that the third young master is going to die at all costs. The First Lady truthfully speaks at the beginning. She didn't have high expectations of her, but now she is starting to like her. The Lady Shaman starts the ritual, and Myo Shin's eyes and mouth opens up. The shaman stabs Myo Shin with a knife by chanting the ritual, and the energy enters into Myo Shin's body. All of a sudden, a couple of hands comes out of Myo Shin's mouth, and from his eyes too. All of the hands moves forward to track down the target. Blue Spirit instantly spots the shaman's energy, and the hands breaks into Zhang's room. Demonic Monk quickly blocks all the hands, but even he is pushed back by the strength of the multiple hands. Blue Spirit recognizes the spell used by the shaman as reverse murder. It is a way to target Zhang and inflict pain on him when Myo Shin is being stabbed every time. The First Lady is imagining that Zhang is being injured, and she is overjoying that Zhang is suffering a lot. But the scenario inside is not the way she is expecting. Blue Spirit now comes to action that some inferior creature is messing with her prey, and she instantly slices all the hands and spots the location of the shaman. Then Blue Spirit attacks with her might and tears all the hands in a single blow, and the shaman flies far away from Blue Spirit's attack. The shaman is bleeding and can't believe that the reverse murder is deflected. She estimates that a spirit higher than Yellow Spirit is in there. The shaman petitions that she needs more payment for this. The First Lady questions as to why the shaman needs more payment for this. New Moon demands that she needs at least 1,000 silver niangs more. The guard screams why she needs 1,000 when they already took 400, and that's enough for them to get a bag of rice. The shaman states that she needs to risk her life for his mission, because it's an evil spirit of a very high rank. Even a yellow spirit could threaten a person's life, and this is much higher than that. Higher than a yellow spirit is a disaster, and most shamans couldn't handle anything above yellow spirit unless they are as skilled as the Lady Shaman. The First Lady accepts the condition for 1,000 more, but the shaman have to kill Mok Jiang-won. The shamans also have ranks like spirits too, from highest to lowest. They are divine, sun, moon, talent, darkness, and porter. Myo Shin is porter rank, and the Lady Shaman is talent rank, which is 2 ranks higher than Myo Shin. On top of that, the Lady Shaman is one of the 3 shamans of the pavilion that handles familiar spirits. The shaman guarantees that Mok Jiang-won won't survive no matter the cost. Inside Zhang's room, Blue Spirit is annoyed by the shaman, because if Zhang is died by the shaman, it is not a death by his hand, and it could harm Blue Spirit too. But Blue Spirit perceives both death chi and yin chi from Zhang. The problem is that a living person has no chance to accumulate death chi. She finally understands that Zhang is not an ordinary person because he understood the ritual of attachment very quickly, and learned to circulate chi at once when he knows nothing about martial arts, and now he's collecting death chi while he is alive. Blue Spirit hates to admit it, but she is starting to like Zhang. Zhang wakes up and got the answer to circulate his chi. The chi doesn't dissipate like before, but he is unable to make an energy core because of his insufficient chi. Zhang inquiries about the room, and even the demonic monk is in a bad state, but what Zhang cannot comprehend is why Go Chan has fallen too. Blue Spirit states that Go Chan might be sleepy. Demonic monk wakes up fiercely and explains why Go Chan is in that state. Blue Spirit punishes and kicks demonic monk for telling the truth to Zhang. Suddenly, a sound comes from outside. Zhang asks about situation right now, and Blue Spirit informs Zhang not to let his guard down. At the moment, a large number of beetles crawl inside the room, and Blue Spirit is disgusted that someone took these beetles as a familiar spirit. Blue Spirit set forth these as the spirit of the mountains called mountain-piercing shelled beast. The ones that reside in the mountain are referred to Chimi, mountain spirits, and the ones in sea as Morio, sea spirits. For a long time the people have called these spirits which cause disaster and trouble as Kaimamorio. And one of them is the mountain-piercing shelled beast. The lady shaman releases the spirit which looks like a bird but possesses the tail of a snake. It calls forth insects to bring mayhem. It's a very dangerous and lethal being. There is no friendship between shamans, but the lady shaman is saddened to see Myo Shin killed by an evil spirit. So she avenges Myo Shin by making Zhang a pet food for her spirit. Go Chan sleeps peacefully and Zhang slaps on his face to wake him up. He is frightened to see all the bugs at once. Zhang orders Go to kill all these bugs, but just by touching them for a second Go Chan's hand become disgusting. Zhang appraises Go to protect his body with inner energy. Zhang considers even though they look small, it'll only be a moment for them to eat both Zhang and Go by how many there are present here. Blue Spirit asks Zhang what will he do now. If he don't do anything he'll become insect food at this rate. Zhang seeks help from Blue Spirit, but Blue Spirit reasons what will she get from helping him. Zhang briefs Blue Spirit that she is a familiar spirit, so why she being uncooperative? She'll consider if Zhang offers his body. Zhang states then we'll just die then. Their bugs keep swarming on both of them. Blue Spirit expresses to make a bet if Zhang. That is if Zhang is on the brink of death, she'll take his body. However, if Zhang manages to escape from this situation, she'll actively help him as much as possible from now on. Zhang agrees to the conditions and start planning to get out of this situation. Go Chan and Zhang stands up because now there is no place to even sit. Zhang plans set the whole place on fire if he finds something flammable. He explains to Go that they use the lantern on the table to set fire this whole place so the bugs won't survive. Go thinks the lantern is too far away from them, but Zhang uses the ritual of attachment to pull it towards him. Go is perplexed about how Zhang did it. Zhang ponders who would have done something like this, because ordinary people wouldn't be proficient in this types of schemes, and Zhang quickly realizes that the First Lady might have done this. So he founds that shaman should be near to her. It'll be a ruckus if this place is set on fire, so Zhang plans to use that chaos to kill the shaman. However, the shaman has already arrived near Zhang's room and stops the flame Zhang is trying to use. She speaks it is foolish to use this type of little tricks on a shaman like her. The shaman's right eye known as the white, I can see what others cannot see. She could clearly see what Zhang is trying behind those walls. This is what she could see. The shaman uses the spirit to destroy the wall, and she sets foot into the room. Zhang greets the shaman, and she instantly saw the red threads that connected to Zhang and his familiar spirits. And demonic monk is already nearby her to attack, but she starts chanting and crushes demonic monk to the floor. She steps on demonic monk and states that she could identify it easily. Go-chan moves forward to attack without an ounce of fear, even though she is a shaman of talent rank. But the shaman uses another curse to push Go-chan back, and the knife Go-chan was holding flies toward Zhang, and he grabs it. The shaman commands her spirit to kill Zhang, and all the bugs swarms in the direction of Zhang, and he falls back. The shaman states to Zhang to cross over the spirit realm after he dies. The bugs completely surrounds Zhang in a way there is no way to see what is happening in there. All of them are now under the shaman's spell and unable to do anything. The shaman thought it was an evil spirit of a higher level, but she lets go by thinking that it was just her imagination. The spirit is now get back to its contractor, and the shaman appreciates the spirit for his good work. The both of them plans to leave now that the problem is solved. The shaman is thinking about the commission is not sufficient for her. At that moment she felt a chills down her spine, and our protagonist, the demon, stands up. Zhang stabs up himself so that his blood would come out. The shaman turns back and Zhang uses his blood to kill all the bugs. The shaman is horrified after witnessing what Zhang has done. Zhang spikes his left palm and pours the blood that leaks from his body on his head. The bugs were unable to survive after tasting Zhang's blood, which contained poison. The shaman is dumbfounded after spectating the situation, and Zhang looks like a demon that comes straight from the hell. The shaman is terrified and Zhang rushes towards her, stating that his blood is a deadly poison and it's effective as a pesticide too. The shaman backs down and orders her spirit to buy time so that she can cast a powerful spell. Zhang uses thought-shattering 8 techniques. First, ritual of attachment, to grab the spirit right into his hands. The shaman is shocked and Zhang expresses that it's finally quiet here. The shaman runs for her spirit's life, and she instantly feels an immense pain form the spirit through their connection, and she realizes that Zhang is absorbing the death chi from her spirit. She can't express how the death chi is being absorbed by a living person. Zhang thinks to himself that it was beyond his expectations. He simply grabbed it to deal with the bugs, but the spirit has an immense amount of death chi in it. The death chi is much more compared to when a person is killed. To be clear, it is enough for Zhang to make an energy core with the death chi containing in the spirit. The shaman begs Zhang to stop, because if Zhang drains any more energy from it, the spirit will die. Near First Lady's residence, the guard recommends the First Lady to move into a room because it's cold outside, but the First Lady resists not to go inside when the situation is uncertain. The First Lady requested 2 things from New Moon. One is Mok Jungwoon's life, and the other is the secret manuals, so that the possibility of others obtaining it will slow down. The guard speaks that the shaman is returning, and they already started to believe that New Moon had succeeded and Mok Jungwoon is dead. The First Lady imagines that books are going to be in her possession and her son is finally the Manor Master. Both the guards congratulate the First Lady for her son becoming the Manor Master soon. The First Lady is embarrassed and commands them to shut up. However, the shaman stops walking and the First Lady questions the shaman as to what happened and to speak something. The shaman announces that the Phoenix Pavilion is unable to kill the 3rd young master as the First Lady ordered them. The First Lady is now in a state of shock, and the shaman thinks what cruel person Zhang is, and to make her such a thing. A while ago, Zhang commands the shaman to incriminate the First Lady with the shaman's own mouth. Zhang states that the shaman is willing to do anything for the spirit's life, and he utters that the Phoenix Pavilion would send someone again even if he defeated the lady shaman. So he orders the shaman to incriminate the First Lady with the shaman's own mouth. That way the First Lady and the Phoenix Pavilion would become enemies. This is the master plan of our demon Zhang. Coming back to present, the shaman believes that she is now a traitor to the Phoenix Pavilion, but she had no other choice to save her spirit. The shaman now announces loudly that the First Lady told them the 3rd young master was possessed by a mystical being, so she requested the Phoenix Pavilion to take the life of Master Mok Jungwoon at the same time. But after confirmation the 3rd young master was not possessed by a mystical being, henceforth the shaman requests the First Lady not to commission such requests from the Phoenix Pavilion ever again. All the people are coercing to each other about the First Lady, and even the order from the director states to head immediately to the First Lady's residence. The guard conveys to the First Lady that the people from the outer chamber are rushing in. The First Lady trembles in fear and is unable to do anything. The shaman enters the 3rd master residence, and Zhang asks whether she did as he said. The shaman tells him that she successfully completed her mission. The shaman thinks that things went according to the 3rd master's way in the end, and the First Lady and the Phoenix Pavilion are now enemies. The First Lady is now a villain for attempting murder on the 3rd son. But New Moon is not in a position to worry about the First Lady, and the shaman is the one who betrayed the Phoenix Hall to save her spirit. So the Phoenix Pavilion will chase down the shaman forever. The shaman asks Zhang to give her spirit back, and Zhang says that he wanted to ask her something. He questions her about the Chai Morio. He wants to know about people who control spirits, demonic monk, and the bird head in Zhang's hand. The shaman understands that her expectations are right about Zhang not being possessed, but she astonishes to see the demonic monk as a familiar spirit. She can't believe how Zhang managed to obtain a resentful spirit of such level. On top of that, he had one more familiar spirit. Zhang asks whether she wants to answer or not. The shaman then starts to explain that there are 6 levels to the Chimorio: ominous beast, strange beast, demonic beast, sacred beast, divine beast. Even an ominous beast is considered a small disaster, and the higher the level, the more dangerous they are. The Phoenix Pavilion has 3 people, including the Lady Shaman, who can control such beasts as their familiar spirits. One of them is Reflection, who has long aided the Hall Master. He handles the strange beast of Luo Mountain called Gu Jiao. She don't know the spirit's full extent, but it is definitely dangerous. The other one is the Phoenix Pavilion Master. She don't know what kind of Chimorio the Master possess, but it's definitely a higher level once. Zhang responds then it should either a sacred or divine beast, but the shaman declares that is not, because those beasts only exist in legends. And there are only a handful of stories of people who have taken a sacred beast as their familiar spirit. She offers Zhang a book that contains all the information about Chimorio. Zhang imagines that even a normal mountain-piercing shelled beast had that much death chi. So how much death chi does a higher level Chimorio will have? He appreciates the shaman's kindness and gives her spirit back, and he asks her, why didn't you say thank you? And she thanks him, but he asks her to say it louder, and she says it loudly. Then Zhang lets the shaman leave. Go-chan is upset about Zhang's personality, and after the shaman leaves, Zhang really thinks it is a lucky day for him, because now the First Lady can't do anything to him, because she is being watched by the people of the outer hall, and the death chi he got from the spirit is enough for him create an energy core. At last Zhang will be able to learn martial arts. Go-chan asks whether is it alright to leave the shaman, when she might hold a grudge against Zhang. Zhang replies that a promise is a promise. Go-chan questions what if the shaman tries get revenge on Zhang. Zhang states that Go-chan is right, and the shaman won't be able to do anything. Zhang now orders Blue Spirit to fulfill her promise. In the mountains, the shaman walks and realizes that she wouldn't be surprised if the spirit dies right now, because Zhang absorbed almost all of the death chi from the spirit. She plans to get revenge on Zhang, and all of a sudden Blue Spirit expressed that it is not good to plan a revenge against someone. The shaman steps back and instantly remembered this feeling from reverse murder, and she can't believe that someone took a Blue Spirit as their familiar spirit. Blue Spirit takes one eye from the shaman and appears in front of her upside down. Blue Spirit states that the shaman looks pretty even after losing one eye. In a few moments, Blue Spirit took the life of a talent-level shaman. The First Lady bangs the desk that she was wronged here to the outer hall master, Sang Wonbeek. She acts like Zhang is framing her, and states that she is not the kind of person to harm the third young master. She put into words that the shaman and third young master are in it together and framing her. Outer hall master tells First Lady to keep quiet and questions her about the ruckus that First Lady created in the medicinal hall yesterday. The First Lady speaks. It was about that the third young master entered into Manor Master room, even while I said not to do. Immediately the outer hall master states that the third young master did that to save the Manor Master, and questions the First Lady that she might trying to kill the Manor Master. The First Lady yells at the outer hall master, but he does not even flinch, and keeps a serious expression on his face. Sang expresses that he will not overlook this incident, and the investigation will be done fairly. They will look thoroughly into the First Lady, the second young master, and the third young master. After the First Lady left, Sang still don't understand why the First Lady and the second son were after killing the third son. It would make sense if they were after the fourth son, because he is favored by the Manor Master, but the third master is incapable of martial arts, and his family background is not impressive either. So there is no reason for them to do this, but Sang feels there is chance where he don't know the reason why they are after him. He also grasps that Mok Jang-woon is not like as he used to be. He used to be very arrogant to anyone who acted subservient to him. So Sang plans to check it out about the third master himself. Zhang circulates his inner energy and Blue Spirit appears to check on what is happening. And she starts spectating on Zhang as he is trying to create an energy core using the death chi he obtained from the spirit. Even Blue Spirit found it interesting when Zhang stated that he is going to create an energy core using death chi. Blue Spirit looks Zhang closely and thinks that he looks good, and Zhang wakes up and asks what Blue Spirit is doing. She flusters. and turns back by saying that she isn't doing anything. Jong questions if it is true or not. She tells him to stop with the nonsense and continues circulating his chi. Jong conveys that he needs Blue Spirit's help to check whether what he created is the energy core or not. Blue Spirit proudly says as if an energy would be established within a day. Jong reveals his energy core to Blue Spirit and utters, "Isn't this is an energy core?" She is really surprised and requests Jong that she wanted to take a look. Jong accepts it and questions what she is going to do, and she answers that she'll put her hand on his energy core, so she instantly recognizes it. But it won't work, and she attempts many times, but the result is same. She explains that her hand should go inside his energy core. Then she orders the demonic monk to try, and the result is same as usual. She doubts herself and attempts it on Go-chan, and her hand really went in, and Go-chan also felt a lot of pain and falls unconscious. She tells him that there is no problem on her side, and someone knocks the door. It is none other than the Outer Home Master, Sang. Jong thinks what business does Outer Home Master had with him. Sang is one of the most loyal subordinates to the Mock Sword Manor who's been serving for 2 generations. His beliefs are very firm that even the elders trust him too. People say the one who has Sang's support with him is sure to become the next patriarch. Currently, he has the greatest influence in the manor. He enters into Jong's room and Jong asks what's the matter. Sang firstly apologizes to Jong that he is unable to protect him during the recent incident. Jong acts very kindly and expresses that he is completely fine. Sang gets up and tries to put his hand on Jong and stands still for a moment. He tells Jong that he is glad now Jong is fine and questions him about the dagger Sang gave him last time. Jong don't know what to answer, and Sang tells him that he gave it for self-defense when the manor master fell unconscious. Jong looks back to check Go-chan, but he is unconscious. Jong recalls that he stored it in his drawer. Sang tells that's good and he thought that the 3rd young master lost it. But Jong again states that no matter how much he thinks about it, he don't recall hearing that he had received a dagger. Sang speaks that's because he never gave it to him, and he instantly tries to attack Jong. Jong quickly jumps into the air and Sang states that Jong made 2 mistakes, and Sang seals all the acupuncture points of Jong. The first mistake is Mock Jungwoon always becomes arrogant to anyone who acts subordinate to him. Second is, after Mock Jungwoon got beaten up the 4th master, 3rd master always flinched when it looked like they were about to hit him. However, Jong is too tolerant, and he didn't flinch at all. Sang states that he got his meridian, so Jong is unable to move now and questions him to confess the truth about the 3rd young master. But Jong laughs and moves swiftly even after Sang blocked Jong's meridians. Sang is shocked, and Jong summons Blue Spirit. Blue Spirit instantly grabs Sang's heart, and she expresses that Sang is begging to be killed for his own foolish bravery. Blue Spirit understands that since life chi and death chi were opposite, and Sang used life chi to block Jong's meridians, his life chi would naturally scatter. So that means Jong really formed an energy core that no one had. Due to Jong's death chi, energy core in his body is resistant to acupuncture. But Blue Spirit tells that Jong identity is now found out, and that he won't be able to stay any longer. Jong is also depressed and he can't even kill Sang, because he is an Outer Hall Master, so he plans something in that short moment, which is let demonic monk possess the Outer Hall Master. Blue Spirit tells Jong that he really is a demon himself, and like that demonic monk slowly starts to possess Sang. Sang don't understand what is happening and asks who is Jong. Jong answers that he is the 3rd young master of the Mock Sword Manor. The sun rises and Go-chan wakes up too. Go-chan walks to Jong's room, and everyone on the way is formal with Go-chan. Go-chan seriously can't comprehend what's going on, and when he opens the door, he is astonished that the Outer Hall Master Sang is in there. Jong orders Sang to take his leave now, and Sang even nods at Go-chan too. Jong informs to Go that he just arrived at the mealtime. But Go-chan is amazed about how did all of this happen. Jong replies that he tell him later on and notifies that Jong had something to ask Go-chan. Jong asks Go-chan to teach him martial arts of the secret manual. Go-chan is shocked again. Just a while ago Jong moves his body exactly as shown in the secret manual, but his movements aren't connecting each other. Blue Spirit states those must be ascended martial arts, and each movement contains the principle of ascension in it. To be clear, they contain the concentrated understanding to reach a higher level of prowess. Zhang asks that isn't it a good thing to reach level of prowess. Blue Spirit then fills into Zhang that an ascended martial arts cannot be understood without the fundamentals. An ascended martial arts is used to reach a higher level than their original limit, but if one don't have the fundamentals, it is impossible to use ascended martial arts. Coming back to present, Zhang briefs to Go-chan that he is unable to learn the methods in secret manual without fundamentals. Go-chan asks Zhang that is he going to become the manner master, and Zhang signifies it is only to defend himself, and Go-chan apologies that he is unable to teach him the fundamentals because the fundamentals are passed down to the clan members since old times, and only those who succeeded the name of the Mach clan and those who'd continue their lineage of the Mach clan could learn. That means only the manner master and young masters are the ones who know the fundamentals. Zhang cross-examines Go again. Go thinks that Zhang is antagonized by the other young masters, and there is a chance that Zhang's real identity will be revealed as a stand-in. Zhang stands up and decides there is only a single way for this. Zhang states there is only one person who could teach him fundamentals. Go asks Zhang to whom are they going to meet right now, and shocked after witnessing who it is. It is the fourth young master. While Zhang goes on to greet the fourth son, Go stops him from backside saying that Zhang and the fourth master were not on good terms, and Zhang says that he remembered that. Go expresses that he clearly remembered that day about the conflict between the fourth master and the third master. Back to that day, Mach Jiangwon begs the fourth master to stop hitting him where the third master's legs and several of his ribs were completely destroyed, and he was crying and begging to be spared. The fourth master despises the third master to that extent. And above all, he's a monster who reached the stage of ascendant just at the age of 16. The martial ranks are like third-rate, second-rate, first-rate, ascendant, transcendent, zenith, profound, nirvana. Even Blue Spirit expresses to Zhang that fourth master is useful because there are not that many people with that much young energy at just the age of 16, and people like them are called geniuses, and she also tells that if she were alive she'd take the fourth master as her disciple. Blue Spirit alerts Zhang to be careful because she can't use her full powers when the sun is up, and Go-chan from aside still speaks to Zhang that to give up on the secret books, try something simple. But Zhang is already on his way to meet the fourth young master. The fourth young master sincerely meditates, and when he saw Zhang, his mood quickly changes and emits extreme hatred towards Zhang, but Zhang casually greets him. The fourth young master ignores Zhang and focuses on his workout, but he is amazed when he saw the secret manual in Zhang's hands. Zhang asks Mach Yuchun if he wants the manual or not. Yuchun questions that how would he know if the manual is original or fake. Zhang instantly throws the manual onto Yuchun to confirm it himself, and he grasps that all the principles inside the book can make the person ascend to the next level. However, there are some pages torn off inside the book, and Yuchun asks where are the remaining pages, and Zhang states those are in his head, and Yuchun asks how did Zhang got this manual, and Zhang answers that is not important right now. Yuchun yells at Zhang that why did he come here then, and questions is it to mock him. Zhang speaks to not overthink or misunderstand about the manual, and states that he is not interested in the manner master position. Now Yuchun is furious and thinks that Zhang is playing tricks with him, so he instantly punches on him and Zhang is blown away. Yuchun expresses that he is not a fool to believe such nonsense, and tells Zhang that he will make him remember what happened 2 years ago, so Zhang won't act rubbish again. Even after Zhang got beaten up by Yuchun, Zhang is not furious about Yuchun. All he thinks about is that the punch of an ascendant rank is surely new to him. The man with the dark sword is out of the question, but Zhang had seen other martial arts experts like Guard Cam or the Outer Hall Master, so Zhang understands why Go-chan is hyping up the fourth young master so much. He really is a monster, and Zhang believes that it is not something that can be solved by luck alone, and Zhang's reaction time can't keep up Yuchun. But what Zhang imagines it that he could also become that strong if he learned martial arts. If Zhang learns martial arts, he'll surely reach a level that he could avenge his grandfather. Zhang expresses Yuchun's punch is good, and Yuchun is irritated by Zhang and goes forward to beat him up again. And Zhang implies to Yuchun that he really don't trust Zhang at all. And Yuchun answers there is doubt about that, and he grabs Zhang's collar to beat him up again. Zhang confidentially speaks that he have no other choice but to give the manual to either the first lady or the second brother, and wonders what will happen if the first brother or the second brother were to become the manner master. They will not let Yu-chun live in peace, because Yu-chun is the successor candidate loved by the Manor Master. Yu-chun is angry because he thinks Jong is threatening him, but Jong states this is truth, so it is your choice whether you take this chance or not. After observing Jong for a while, Yu-chun now questions to Jong who is he and doubts is he really mock Jang-won. Go-chan is freaked after hearing Yu-chun words. But Jong nonchalantly states, "Who do you think I am?" And Yu-chun flinches for a moment there and Jong asks Yu-chun that he speaks like he knows everything about Jong and Yu-chun answers, "Of course I know everything about you," and states that he knows how he beat and mocked Jang-won like a dog 2 years ago, and that Jang-won couldn't speak a word to Yu-chun at that time. Then onwards, whenever Jang-won saw Yu-chun, he runs away, and this is what Yu-chun had answered to Jong's question. But Jong expresses what does Yu-chun know other than what he answered now, and starts questioning about what Jang-won likes and what he hates, what Jong is think right now, and what situation he is in. And why don't he want to become the Manor Master? After hearing the surplus of questions from Jong, Yu-chun silence for a moment and questions Jong about what he knows about Yu-chun, and Yu-chun yells that it was because of Jong that he is being labeled as an inferior son, and everyone kept their distance at Yu-chun and asks Jong, why did he choose Yu-chun and someone better to negotiate with? Jong simply responds to Yu-chun that there is no one better than Yu-chun. After hearing these words from Jong, Yu-chun realizes that how he's been insulted and cast out for being an inferior son. He was lonely all the time and trained all those years so that someone would acknowledge him. At last, that someone is Jong, and Yu-chun never even thought in his dream that he would be acknowledged by Jong. Yu-chun always thought that Jong hated him for what happened 2 years ago. Yu-chun is happy now and decides to change his behavior around Jong. Now Yu-chun wants to listen about the negotiation Jong started, and he's fallen into Jong's hand now. After a while, both Jong and Go gets back to their residence. Go was amazed as to he had no words to express Jong's intelligence. Go has been wondering about how to convince the fourth master, but Jong literally did far better than what Go expected. A while ago, Jong had to come up with a plan since real mock Jung-won knew basic martial arts, and Jong demanded 3 requirements from Yu-chun, which are, Yu-chun should leave Jong alone even after Yu-chun secured the Manor Master position. The second is to support Jong financially, and Yu-chun is fine about the 2 requirements of Jong. The third requirement of Jong is that Yu-chun should teach him the basic martial arts of the mock sword manner. Go was worried that Yu-chun would be suspicious about Jong, but Yu-chun didn't doubt Jong at all. Yu-chun believed that Jong forgotten the basic martial arts, and Yu-chun accepted to teach Jong. Like that, Yu-chun taught Jong the fundamentals without doubting anything. Even the genius Yu-chun took more than 2 hours to memorize the secret manual, but Jong memorized it all just by listening to it once. Go is happy that he ended up with Jong even though it wasn't what he had wanted initially. Go expresses that he was impressed, that he had such a plan upon his sleeve, and thinks that it is a shame that Jong gave Yu-chun the secret manual. Jong states that he didn't teach him properly. Go was surprised for a second there, and Jong explains that he taught Yu-chun differently. Jong made changes about every 13 or 14 characters, and that Jong was afraid he might get caught, but he managed to get away with it. Go apprises to Jong that if Yu-chun learned wrong martial arts, he might be incapable of martial arts, and worst case would be he could die from chi deviation. But Jong doesn't care about it, and Go ascertains that Jong is a devil. In the Phoenix Pavilion, a shaman named Reflection meditates, and the leader of the shaman states that they heard nothing about New Moon, and leader considers that she hasn't fulfilled her mission, and on top of that, she even betrayed the First Lady and exposed her. Because of that, the relationship between the pavilion and the First Lady have been cut. So the leader calls his beloved disciple to find New Moon and reveal the truth to bring back their image. Reflection accepts the mission. The place where New Moon has disappeared, Reflection arrives there to check what happened here, and finds a talisman which is half burnt. He can't believe that New Moon, one of the 3 most powerful shamans within the Phoenix Pavilion, faced such a cruel death. He realizes that something is off here and uses shamanism to check out what exactly happened here from the beginning. Reflection now could see from the start Myo Shin entered this place, and then he is horrified after feeling Blue Spirit's presence. Reflection recognized that a blue spirit is here and that he needs to prepare himself as best he can. In Jong's residence, Blue Spirit spectates Jong as he learns martial arts, and Jong performs the moves exactly like they were in the manual. Blue Spirit is astonished as to how Zhang does like that. Normally, when a person starts to learn martial arts, they start with the most basic techniques, and when the person repeats the same movements, they become proficient in it. However, other than the first form, Zhang has yet to make even a tiny mistake in his latter forms. All Zhang needs to do is grow big in muscles by continuing to train. Blue Spirit thinks to herself that Zhang would whine for her to teach him, not that Blue Spirit will teach him, and she is having some lewd thoughts about Zhang. Then quickly she scratches her head for thinking like that. Go-chan arrives as per Zhang ordered, and Zhang asks him a favor to do, which is to give a piece of paper to an intel organization, and Go comes to an organization called Eternal Orchid, and they are the least skilled, but Go had no chance because it is the one only intel organization in the area. He believes that he became a loyal dog to Zhang without even realizing, but he don't really mind that. The reason is Go was abandoned by his parents and raised as an assassin. Go isn't talented in that field, so he was forced into retirement at the same time as Guard Cam. However, Guard Cam wasn't a good person either. He treated Go-chan like a tool. Go-chan believes that even Zhang is treating him like a tool too, but he don't have any complaints against Zhang. Go-chan imagines that once he became useless, he will be abandoned again, and he thinks his life is better at the moment compared to all the outer hall guards. Then the organization master appears and apologies for making Go-chan wait. Go just expresses to the master to take the quest. The owner introduces the lady beside him to Go-chan and asks Go-chan about her looks. Go-chan angrily states to send her out, and the owner tells her to go on. The owner watches lady with lustful eyes without focusing on what Go-chan is saying. Suddenly the lady slaps the owner by saying that she can't do this anymore and removes her wig. The owner tries to attack her, but she dodged it easily and rotates his head 180 degrees. Go-chan becomes alert and unsheaths his sword to face her. She kicks the table at Go-chan while trying to seal Go-chan's movements and greets him that they met after a long time by calling Go-chan as low-ranking assassin number 86. The lady is disappointed that number 86 didn't recognize her. Go-chan now remembers that her name is Ha Chiron, and she is the granddaughter of the Flying Assassin sect's head. In order to become the Flying Assassin sect leader, one must go through the ritual of 100 murders, 100 humans, 100 kills. And once they pass it, they will be supported for the sect leader position for the Flying Assassin sect, and as one of the 4 great assassins of Zhongyuan. And they will also receive a secret poisonous weapon once they become the Flying Assassin sect leader, which is Keen Benevolence Needle Chiron is holding. Go realizes that if Chiron is holding that needle, she could be the current sect leader, but Go also thinks there is no way for her to be the leader. She has the talent to become the sect leader, but there is a disqualifying factor too, which is her personality. Many people believe that she wouldn't be able to kill 100 people because of her crazy personality. Go-chan still remembers how much arrogant she used to be, and he thinks when did she become so big by staring at lustfully. She states that she didn't expect them to meet again like this and mentions Go to call her sect leader from now on, because she is the sect leader right now, and asks him that he is not even giving respect to her after stating that she is the leader. Instantly Go falls on his knees and greets Chiron. She mumbles that she had begged for it. She expresses that she needs a help from Go, which is to let her into the mock sword manor. Go-chan asks for the reason, and Chiron answers that she received information about intermediate assassin number 29 has failed at an assassin, which is Guard Cam. Go-chan is frightened after hearing about that Guard Cam. Chiron mentions Guard Cam was pretty good at his job, and she didn't expect him to fail. Chiron guesses that Guard Cam might be dead since he was missing. And Chiron states that she is here to eliminate the 3rd son of the mock sword manor, because the golden rule of the Flying Assassin is to complete their assassination mission no matter what it takes. If the person who took the mission dies, then another person who is of higher level must finish the assassination. Inside Zhang's residence, Blue Spirit shouts how much more time will Zhang continue to practice. Then Zhang takes a glimpse at the sky and states that it is dinner time. Blue Spirit is happy when she heard Zhang say the word dinner. And at the dining table, a maid eats food like a monster, and Zhang calmly reads a book. The maid is now full, and she states that the biggest joys of life is eating, and the maid is none other than Blue Spirit. Blue Spirit possessed a maid that brought meals a few days ago, and she really seems to enjoy it, and Zhang thinks that he should have done this from the start. But the maid is unable to endure a high-ranking spirit possessing her, and Blue Spirit is irritated by that fact. Blue Spirit tried to possess a prettier maid and ended up almost killing her too, because a normal body can't handle a spirit of higher level. Blue Spirit asks Jong that is he interested in shamanism, because he always reads books about shamanism. Jong answers that among the shamanism books that Blue Spirit brought him, the one that she brought right now is called Six-Person Spirit Summoning Technique, and it is quite fascinating to Jong. In that moment, Jong sensed a powerful energy from a long distance, and Blue Spirit is amazed that Jong's senses have really escalated. Go-chan presents the maid's dress to Chiron, and she doesn't even like that and states that even a prostitute's clothes are better. Go-chan imagines that the current situation is really bad, because if Chiron is the sect leader now, then she must be at least transcendent level. The day she finds out that Go betrayed guard Cam, she'll definitely kill him. So Go tries to inform this situation to Jong at all costs. Go speaks to Chiron that he'll be outside while she changes. But she asks Go-chan that he could watch it if he wishes, and chances like this are very rare to occur. Go stops moving to outside and blushes for a moment there, but Chiron tells him that she is just kidding. And she thanks Go-chan, because if it weren't for Go-chan it would be difficult for her to infiltrate. And Go replies that he is also planning to avenge his senior brother, but Go-chan is only saying this because Chiron will kill him the moment she knows the truth. And Go-chan also speaks that he feels like he got a whole army when Chiron is with him. Chiron states she trusted Go-chan too, and when Go-chan is leaving she throws the acupuncture needles at him to stop his movements. She expresses that if Go-chan really wants to avenge his senior brother, he should have done something. But until now he hasn't done anything, so that means he is not loyal to guard Cam. And Chiron lets know Go-chan that it is funny watching him act like he's going to kill Mok Jang-won, when he's a piece of garbage that was basically forced into retirement. Go now comprehends that Chiron knows about everything. She declares that Go didn't change despite getting old, and he's still as stupid as always, and advises him that trash like him should just die. Go-chan thinks back to find out where did things go wrong for him. Is it because of Jong killed the real third son, or is it because of Go-chan betraying guard Cam? At last he concludes to himself that all of this happened because he is weak. Cherian takes out her knife and says goodbye to Go-chan. Then Jong uses his hand to break the wall and uses thought-shattering 8 techniques, ritual of attachment. To pull the knife Chiron is holding and barges into the room to save Go-chan. For the first time Go-chan thinks that Jong is really cool. Chiron pulls Go-chan back and threatens Jong by taking Go-chan as hostage. Go-chan is sure of himself that Chiron must have looked into Jong's data, and it only states that he is terrible at martial arts. But now in front of her Jong is even using skills like telekinesis. So right now she will think that Jong is a transcendent martial artist too. But what Chiron don't know is that Jong is a heartless demon that don't care the lives of others. Jong raises his weapon and Go-chan closes his eyes by believing that he is going to die, but Jong throws the weapon down and asks her to let Go-chan go. Jong promises her that she'll be free if she leaves Go-chan safely, and he states that it would be a loss on his end if Go-chan dies. Go-chan is very touched by Jong's words. Chiron states to Jong that if he falls on his knees and begs her she'll spare him, and Jong really is going to fall on his knees. This made Chiron shocked that Jong is going that far just to save a guard, but stares at somewhere. He instantly picks out the weapon from the ground and rushes towards Chiron, but he looks at somewhere else and not on Chiron. And from backside Blue Spirit uses her spirit powers to attack Chiron, but she dodges quickly after sensing Blue Spirit's energy. Chiron can't see anything there, however she forgotten something, which is Jong, and he immediately launches the knife. But Chiron even dodged that too, and Jong takes the acupuncture needles from Go-chan instantly. Chiron is unable to understand that she could feel a strange energy but couldn't witness it. However, one thing is certain for her after Jong launched the knife, which is Jong's weak and not a transcendent martial artist. So she quickly rushes towards Jong by taking out her master weapon, which was given to only the sect leaders. Jong uses his ritual of attachment to pull that needle from Chiron, but the needle was made to kill the target even if it is an expert martial artist, and Jong's movements suddenly stopped when the needle reached near to him. It has happened because the needle was specially made to pierce those with immense inner energy. Therefore, it is not affected by inner energy like ritual of attachment. Go-chan gets up at that moment and jumps in front the needle to save Jong, and everyone was shocked by his ultimate sacrifice. Zhang is now ultimately enraged that Go-chan ended up like that, because after his grandfather Zhang spent most of his happy time with Go-chan only, so he commands Blue Spirit to take Chiron life at all costs. Chiron uses the normal needles to stop Zhang, but he uses ritual of attachment to control the needles and attacks her with the needles she used. Blue Spirit states that should have died while Blue Spirit was being nice to her. Then Blue Spirit takes Chiron to her blood world, and there Zhang informs her that it was a bad move to enrage him. And Blue Spirit took her life without any marks or bleeding. Go-chan is in a bad state, and he coughs up blood. Zhang is witnessing Go-chan in a sad way, and he notifies him that Zhang thought they would work together for a while, and questions Go-chan why did he do something like that. Go-chan answers that he fulfilled his duty as a guard and Zhang tried to protect him, so Go-chan can't betray Zhang. Zhang is the only one who didn't abandon him all his life and slowly passes away by stating that he is now happy because of Zhang. Zhang feels extremely sad about Go-chan, and Blue Spirit possesses the body of Chiron by expressing that Chiron body is young and pretty. But even Chiron body couldn't handle the power of Blue Spirit, and she is irritated by that. But even she is sad that Go-chan passed away. There would have been a chance if Go-chan became a vengeful spirit, but he didn't have any regrets in his life, so he didn't become a vengeful spirit. Zhang states that according to the 6-person summoning technique, a vengeful spirit can be born from hatred, but they can also be born when they die in a place full of regrets and death chi. Since Zhang's energy is made up of death chi, he plans to revive Go-chan by making him a vengeful spirit. Zhang starts the ritual to that by using different kinds of hand signs. Blue Spirit unfolds that a familiar spirit is born because Zhang used his own death chi, but the energy is too weak and Go might disappear at any time, and there is no vessel for him to enter. Then Zhang suggests Blue Spirit that they need to find one, and Blue Spirit understands that Zhang is planning to use Chiron's body. Go-chan feels that his consciousness is fading, and he feels powerless too, and he could still hear Zhang's voice lightly. And when he opens his eyes, Zhang is in front of him. Go-chan asks Zhang that how is he still alive. Zhang explains that he used his death chi to revive him, and he became Zhang's familiar spirit. But even his energy is too weak, so they had no choice but to put Go-chan in any body Zhang could see, and they had only one extra body. So they had to put him in Chiron's body. Go-chan is embarrassed and shocked after witnessing himself. The second part for this manhwa will be released in our second channel in a few days. Until then, stay tuned and subscribe to both of our channels. Thank you.